This portion of the news is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
Each year, more than 1.5 million women in the United States undergo a breast biopsy. After a breast biopsy, a pathologist evaluates the tissue to provide a diagnosis for the patient and her doctor. The results can range from normal or benign cells, precancerous cells, to invasive cancer. The new study examined the accuracy of pathologists interpreting different breast biopsy specimens.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Abby Howell always had normal mammograms. 2 years ago, something changed, prompting her to have a breast biopsy.
I had atypical cells. It was really confusing to me, and I couldn't figure out exactly what that meant.
When a woman is told she has atypia or given another diagnosis of pre-invasive disease known as ductal carcinoma in situ, these are not the same as a cancer diagnosis.
I think it's a challenging job that the doctors have to try and define what is atypical versus what's normal and what's pre-invasive. We're having a hard time in these middle borderline categories.
Dr. Joanne Elmore from the University of Washington in Seattle and co-authors enlisted 115 volunteer pathologists around the country. The pathologists interpreted a total of 240 test slides containing different samples of breast tissue. Those results were then compared to a standard developed by a group of very experienced expert breast pathologists.
These doctors had almost complete agreement on cases of invasive breast cancer. They were not in as high of levels of agreement when there was atypia present or a ductal carcinoma in situ.
For ductal carcinoma in situ, or DCIS, pathologists agreed in about 4 out of 5 cases, but when interpreting atypical cells or atypia, they only agreed about half of the time.
Women with these diagnoses are then getting additional treatment, additional surveillance, being told that they are at very high and increased risk for subsequent breast cancer.
The pathologists also disagreed more frequently when interpreting samples from women with denser breast tissue.
Now we know which cases are the most challenging. Now we can study how much improvement we can get by adding in second opinions.
Abby did get a second opinion. She and her doctors opted to monitor her with regular mammograms, which continued to be normal.
For me, I felt like I knew enough that I was willing to take the risk of waiting.
Catherine Dolf, The JAMA Report.
Study authors report that pathologists also disagreed more often if they interpreted fewer cases in their actual practices. Desert View Hospital is pleased to announce the appointment of General Surgeon John Sorensen, MD, as Desert View Hospital's new Chief of Staff. Dr. Sorensen is replacing Frederick Siegel, MD. Dr. Sorensen began his tenure at Desert View Hospital in June 2013 after spending the previous 8 years running the transplant team at the University of Utah School of Medicine. He is board certified in general surgery and fellowship trained in hepatobiliary and transplant surgery. Here is this week's student news with Caeli and Alyssa.
I'm Alyssa Beacon.
And I'm Kaylee Havel.
And this is Student News.
Boys varsity soccer will be having their final home game tomorrow at 3. It's the senior game. Be around.
The Lady Trojans for volleyball made it to regionals and will be attending it next week.
Hey, Alyssa.
Yeah, Kaylee?
What's something you can serve but can't eat?
I don't know.
A volleyball.
Oh. Good luck, ladies.
There will be no school Thursday, October 29th due to teacher in-service, nor will there be school Friday, October 30th due to Nevada Day.
Report cards will be going out this week in the mail. Be sure to check in.
Key Club will be hosting their annual Safe Night at the Pahrump Valley Auto Plaza Friday, October 30th at 6 p.m.
They will also be ringing bells for Salvation Army. Be sure to donate.
This is Kaylee Havel
and Alyssa Beacon
signing off.
Thanks, Caeli and Alyssa. One of 2 inmates who escaped a Nevada Department of Corrections boot camp has been apprehended. 23-year-old Marvin Baldridge was caught around 1:30 p.m. today near the area of St. Rose Parkway and Las Vegas Boulevard South. A stolen vehicle used in the escape also was recovered. Baldridge and 18-year-old Shane Perez Valestro had walked away around 4:20 a.m. this morning from 3 Lakes Valley Boot Camp, which is adjacent to the Southern Desert Correction Center on Cold Creek Road, just off U.S. Highway 95 in northern Clark County. And we'll be right back for more from News 46.